Hello there everyone, my name is Clink and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening's PC port. So last time we started our journey on Koholint, I talked about some of the changes you can expect to see in this port. And yeah, let's just go ahead and do the tail cave. So we're just going to go ahead and knock these hard hat beetles off the edge, get our first small key, which you'll notice didn't really give us a prompt or anything when we picked it up, which is pretty neat. Going ahead, grab the compass, which I always appreciate the compass in this game. It does a lot of new things compared to what the series had it do before this, which would show you where the boss of the dungeon is, which it still does, but as you can see, it also shows us where all the chests are in the game, or not in the game, in the dungeon, which is great. And if we walk into a room, that noise will tell us that there is a small key in the room. Not necessarily a chest, but a small key. So even if the small key is not a chest, that noise will play. And if you find a chest that doesn't have a small key in it, that noise will not play. Which you can have shown by this room here, because this room will have a chest in it, but you didn't hear the noise. So take out these keys and these orange stalfos, which are harder to deal with in this port, just because... Oh, I didn't get the heart. Just because of your slower sword swing. That's really it. Yeah, we can go ahead and grab the dungeon map there and see that the map looks like a fishy, which is why it's called the Tail Cave. Although, if you're interested in the PC port, there's a decent chance you've played this, but you know, not everyone would have. Ooh, I need that extra heart. I'm always scared of this dungeon. I find once I get past the second dungeon, I pretty much never die, but up until then, I can die pretty easily. Go ahead and take out that mini Moldorm. We can get 20 rupees. I'm going to take out this other one, avoid these sparks, and get another small key. I really wish a piece of power would have dropped later in the dungeon. One thing I noticed is I don't think you can push this block. I'm pretty sure you could push this in the original game. Just to block that blade trap right there. But you have to actually avoid it in this version. And let's not get hit by the spark. I never addressed that these guys are Zols. There's the green variant and the red variant. The red variant is gonna split in half like we've seen a couple times at this point. Go on ahead and find these spiked beetles and knock them over. I don't think they could knock or hurt you when they were knocked over in the actual game. I might be wrong about that. But at the very least, something that has come over and wasn't forgotten about is that if you hit a Goomba on the head, it is guaranteed to drop a heart. So if you're low on health, stomp on some Goombas. And to stomp on some Goombas, you can do it pretty easily once you have the Rock's Feather. So now we can jump around. As you can see, it also automatically maps new items to the buttons and as we're filling them in, but now we actually have 4 items to our different item slots. But yeah, we can jump around. It feels amazing in this version of the game. I really like it. They did a great job of recreating how it feels in the Game Boy versions, as it, you know, is recreating that, so... One thing I also like is the lighting effect that comes off these crystals and the sparks. I think it's just pretty neat. And the torches, I guess. Lots of just nice little lighting effects. You'll also notice this cracked wall here, and you can also hear the different sound. And it's blacked out. You can't just see the room from here, which I think is also pretty nice. I've heard some people say they kind of wish that the dungeon rooms themselves were blacked out until you enter them. I've seen a lot of people saying that some of the zoom out takes away from the feeling of exploration in the game. Personally, I don't agree with that at all, but, you know, some people just don't like it as much, I guess, but this is exactly what I wanted personally as someone that's played this game like 10 times, so. We can go ahead and grab the Nightmare's key, and that's going to let us get to the boss door. And we've pretty much explored the majority of the dungeon by this point. So let's go ahead and head over towards this way. So we could have gone through that one-way door earlier. I don't think I did, but you know, that's where we got the dungeon map. And of course, no hearts. Get rid of this guy though. So in here, we're going to encounter the 3 of a kind. These guys, you just have to match up the symbols like that. And then you can, pretty easily you know, have them die. I think it's a little easier in this version of the game than it was in the Game Boy versions because it felt really fast. That's a good thing in this case. I always disliked it. And in here we have the Spike Roller mini boss. Just jump over the Spike Roller. Don't touch him because he does a full heart of damage while the roller itself only does half a heart. So you do want to be somewhat careful, but he's not too bad. Any mini-bosses you defeat will drop a fairy. The fairy will heal... I honestly don't remember how many hearts it heals, but it heals some amount. And it'll also spawn a portal that will take you back to the entrance of the dungeon. In this case, not really needed that much as, well, this place is pretty small. Do not get hit by these blade traps. They do a full heart, and you want all 3 of your hearts for the boss, which is going to be Moldorm. Buzz Buzz, Outsider. So Moldorm is weird in this game, as he never is invulnerable. Like, he doesn't close up his tail at all, and only takes 4 hits to kill. He's not too bad. And there you go. There is our first heart container and 4 hearts. If you get knocked off by Moldorm, you will fall down here, and you can see some corpses hanging, probably other people he's killed, which is quite morbid for a Zelda game, but I think it's something really interesting. And then you'll have to just climb back up and then go back through the boss door, which, if you do fall down, you'll have to restart the fight, but hey, it's only 4 hits. It's a really short fight, especially compared to the one in A Link to the Past, so... Go on ahead, and we can grab the Full Moon Cello. This is going to be the first of the 8 instruments of the Siren that we can get throughout the game, and they're essentially the Triforce pieces from Zelda 1. Now, there is a weird bug in this port as of version 1.0, which is the version I'm playing here, so this could be patched out. There's a glitch where when you grab an instrument of the Siren, you can get stuck in a infinite animation and just never get teleported out of the dungeon. It happened to me at the end of the 2nd dungeon. I've seen online someone say it happened to them on dungeon 4, so I think it can just happen on any dungeon. I think I also saw someone say it happened to them on the Tail Cave. So I think it can just happen on any dungeon. I think it's just an issue with them as of right now, so hopefully that can get patched out. If it does happen, you have to re-download the game and then move your save files over to that new download. It's really easy. In the game's folder, there's just a directory called save files, and you just copy-paste them over to the new one. But the directory won't be there until you've made at least 1 file on the game, so you'd have to start at least 1 new file and then transfer them over. Hoot, that is an instrument of the Sirens. I have to admit, at first I did not believe you were real. That instrument, along with the 7 others in the set, has the power to wake the Windfish. You must collect them all. I was instructed to give you directions. Your next goal is north in Gapunga Swamp. Hoot indeed. Alright. And then, yeah, so we just need to make our way to the 2nd dungeon, doing whatever, and then... Actually... Oh, crap. Okay, hold on. Let's... Okay, I can't say that getting up and pausing in the middle of a recording is my favorite thing to do, but oh well. Hey buddy, it's serious. Yeah, really serious. Yeah, it is. The Moblins came to the village. Yeah, that's right. A whole gang of Moblins. Then, it's for real. They all went to the house. Yeah, that house. And then they did something at Bow Wow's house. It was a really bad scene with the Moblins. So, I mean, it might be faster to find out for yourself what happened. That felt like a whole lot of nothing from those kids, but oh well. Let's see what's going on. No, where's Bow Wow? And then the music stops and then starts again. I find that really weird, actually. In the remake, it doesn't do that, but, you know. Aye, it's terrible. My Bow Wow was dognapped by Moblins. Oh, please, somebody help my poor Bow Wow. Fine, I guess I can help Bow Wow. No, I'm kidding. So, we need to help Bow Wow to get to the 2nd dungeon. It doesn't take too long either. Like, we can be at the next dungeon in mere minutes. It's kind of funny because it doesn't take long to get to the 1st dungeon or the 2nd dungeon, and then the 3rd dungeon just takes a whole lot longer. Let's see how many of these enemies I can just avoid outright. But we're gonna be able to get our third piece of heart now that we have the Roc's Feather from right here. So we'll go ahead and get that. And I like the little effect of a little bit of the grass being on the heart piece. That wasn't really a thing that they did on the Game Boy. But yeah, if you just kind of like poke and prod around enough at the map, you'll kind of find that there's not really many places you can go. That's something about Link's Awakening. The map very much incrementally opens up as you are playing the game. But you can still explore a decent amount around here and just enjoy the overworld music. Let's actually go in here. I just love to take pictures. Will you let me take your picture? Go to the back of the room and stand in front of the screen. I'll call this here stands a brave man. Say cheese. What's your name, young man? Clink? Well, there's your album, Clink. Give it a look before you leave. Let's see if we can fill that album. So I love this photo side quest. It's one of my favorite things in Link's Awakening DX. I don't know why I love this so much. And it's the greatest tragedy that was removed in the remake and replaced with the terrible dungeon builder that locks behind an entire heart container and 2 heart pieces, and you have to spend like an hour doing it on every playthrough if you want to get all the hearts. But I'm not going to complain about that too much. I still like the remake overall. But let's go in here to get to the actual Moblin house. But yeah, the photo side quest is pretty pointless. There's not a reason to do it other than to see the photos, but it really just leads to a lot of interactions between the characters that I just really like and are so enjoyable that it justifies the photo side quest for me. Like, it is fun for the sake of being fun, and I'm totally down for that. And okay, come on. There we go. I was like, yesterday I beat this guy so quickly. Doing spin attacks is quite helpful for this. Because spin attacks will actually do more damage, and I'm getting hit by a lot of arrows. Ooh, that was a lot of hits in there. He's gonna stop before. Yep. Come on. Now you can do it. Just do your little dash. This is the Moblin King, I believe he's called. He pretty much acts like your typical mini boss. He'll drop a fairy, and if I can get it, there we go. And there we go. There's Bow Wow. Yeah, doesn't take too long to get to Bow Wow. It's a pretty small hideout. Just a fun little quest of rescuing Bow Wow. Now, Bow Wow has a few Easter eggs involved with it, but I genuinely don't know as of right now if they're in this version. No fish in name only, for it is neither. Which we're gonna find out. There's a few that we can get if we keep Bow Wow longer than you should, so we're gonna just look around for that. That is a fearsome looking animal you have there. Do not forget, the next instrument is in Gaponga Swamp, which we can actually see Gaponga Swamp up there, but we can't lift those rocks, so we kind of have to take a different route over there. See if I can kill both of these guys. Yep. Gotta love spin attacks. I used to not use the spin attack too much when I played 2D Zeldas, and then I replayed A Link Between Worlds, and the spin attack was super helpful in that game, especially when you get all the Maya-Mais. And okay, I was gonna say, does Bow Wow have issues on this port with chomping down enemies? Because I would love for him to chomp down some likes. And then I replayed A Link to the Past quite a bit, and the spin attack in that game is even more helpful, and I wouldn't say it's as helpful in this game as it is in A Link to the Past, but it's still quite helpful. Gaponga Swamp is so much better without the screen transitions. Makes it so easy to just get around it. But open that chest for another 50 rupees. It's, you know, quite helpful to get that. One thing that's changed in the remake of this game is this plant right here will actually be a rock, so you can get back into the dungeon, because I don't think there's a way to get back into this dungeon once you leave it, so you will want to get all the chests here on your first run through. But let's go ahead and head inside, and I will end this part here and see you guys next time, where we'll take on the Bottle Grotto. Bye-bye.